I clearly listen. I'm not the biggest college football fan in the world, right? I do, but I think a lot of things do the eye test, meaning I watch the game and I say I almost felt like Jimmy Palumbo last night. I was just like, this guy stinks. Like he's just this quarterback of Alabama stinks. He's not NFL ready. There's no way. And then Kyle came. What?
I want to apologize to the poor kid because for like the last 3 times that I've brought him up, I called him Bryce Mitchell.
Is he not Bryce Mitchell?
It's Bryce Young. And I know that. It's just like I always mess that name up.
Mitchell, Young, same thing. Shit. I just Danny.
Also, shout out to Ash. That's like going to bat for me in my weed habit right now. She's like, guys, he's not a loser. He's just like an anxiety-ridden mess, and he smokes weed because of that.
Yeah. You do any drugs on campus? No, I'm kidding.
The mushroom comment, like because of Super Mario World, I was like, oh, I'll eat mushrooms, and then that sent her in a tailspin. So no,
and all of a sudden we get bigger. We're getting just bigger, zoomed in, like, oh, it's time to go. But anyway, so this game in general for 3 quarters. Oh, Danny, that was Danny. I did steal that and I put it on Twitter and got a reaction out of a lot of people. Tell me that Stenson Bennett does not look like a replica of Corey Matthews from Boy Meets World. It is like older Corey Matthews. Like this kid, first of all, the emotion he was throwing on the sidelines makes me like, I appreciate that kind of stuff. Like he's over the hump. Stetson was billed as not being able to do it, and he did it, and Georgia wins the game.
So when you say he did it, you mean like he got carried by his number 1 ranked defense?
Absolutely.
100%. And special teams. And that was Georgia's defense is what won that game. I know this.
They're a bunch of Neanderthals. Like they're huge. They're huge. My man in the middle, 95, I thought was literally pushing 400 pounds. I was like, and then when Kyle said, no, he's tiny, he's only 330. I was like, bro,
the reason why
you're Anthony's age and he's like 100 pounds soaking wet. That's not true.
I feel like the Georgia front 7 has 5 NFL starters, and I know that
and
Kyle
Bama
said
does too.
Their defense in general has 5, but I feel like they're all coming from the front 7. And whoever number 16 was making plays the entire 4th quarter. I don't know his name.
Danny says somebody was still drunk on Good Morning America. I guess one of the.
I guess Corey Matthews.
Yeah, Corey Matthews was drunk.
He's trying to do his best Joe Burrow. There's no one's going to top that. Jackpot Joey with the cigar.
Oh, no, no, not at all. But yeah, so the game itself, again, for 3 quarters, I was like, this is a field goal game. I was like, I can't get into this crap. And then obviously things started to pick up. I do want to shout out Alabama for doing what they did without any of their weapons. Like they lost one guy a couple weeks ago. Then the guy pops his ACL last night, which that's what it looks like.
Wait,
what?
The game was 33-18?
That's what I said. No? Yes.
Oh, my under hit.
You didn't bet the game.
You said you didn't bet.
That's because I said I lost.
You know, it's funny. You said it. You said it on the text to me.
Yesterday, I was like,
the under's
slapping right now. And it was 9-6.
Yeah.
And then I came in and
what was the over
all
under?
my shit got. I said I didn't bet Bama. That's what I said I didn't bet.
So 43-51. What was the over under? 52.
52.5.
Holy shit. So it was only, oh my God, a point and a half. Whew, that was
and
close.
That pick 6 when I was doing
and that pick 6, right. What if somebody had it that fit? Oh my God, that would have been brutal. Scott, wow. We played like Scott Mitchell last night. Shout out to Scott Mitchell. Huh?
I'm checking my account.
Oh, Christ. Too many deep. Yeah, that was the main thing I was going to get into was the play calling by Nick Saban in that offense. When you have a chance to get down there and drive, and I know the time is limited and the timeouts are probably not as plentiful, but like, dude, the 4 plays that they called were go routes, Gooch, and I don't understand the mentality there. Like, you're trying to get down the field quickly. I get it, but it's like drop back, 3-step drop, chuck. Drop back, 3-step drop, chuck. I'm like, what are you doing?
It was 3 go routes, but the 3 go routes followed the handoff up the middle with 48 seconds. I don't know how much time there was left, but it was like 1:08 left in the game, and they hand the ball up the middle on 1st and 10. You have to go 60 yards. There's a minute. There's a little over a minute, and these guys are 490 pounds up front. What are you thinking you're going to do there, Bama? I don't understand. How many times Nick Saban could run the ball directly up the middle? I get it.
He was like very set in his ways. Like, it's going to work. It's going to work.
They had some inexperience issues on the outside because they lost the receiver early, but at the end of the day, the same thing that I've been saying all week or all month, Alabama's got receivers that are freshmen that could play.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't trust them.
Kyle does bring up a good point here. He goes, Dave didn't like the elite defensive game, but loved the Hurricane Patriots-Bills game. How? I'll tell you how. There's a significant difference between the college game and the pro game. And even in pre-snap, right? It's like you're playing with kids. It's like, clap when I want you to snap the ball.
Yeah,
why? Because it's loud?
I mean,
you can time those are the types of things.
Those are the types of things that I really don't care about.
Hold on, and Scoop hit me up. I think it was the first quarter. My man on the defense got 5 yards for clapping. Clapping. Linebacker was doing this.
Was it before the snap?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's illegal.
What? Not even what? Why?
I mean, yeah, they call that in the NFL sometimes,
No,
but
they don't.
But guys aren't clapping pre-snap. Go ahead, watch it. Show me when
Show me
their guys they're
show me
clapping
that they're
and
not making any noise.
No, you're allowed to make noise. You're allowed to make calls. But if you try and mimic the cadence, in any way,
so I can understand if you're a linebacker in the NFL and you go hut, right? Then you can get flagged. So because these clowns are clapping,
I don't think that really has anything to do with college game or pro game. I think that's just universal. You can't mimic the cadence. If their cadence is a clap to get the snap, then the defense can't clap to mimic that.
That is so ridiculous.
I mean, that's
you
like
can't
that's,
clap.
That's
what if I gotta get the
league
attention of my defensive lineman? Shift. You're not shift. Yo. Shift.
So
now I can't clap.
So you're telling me that you clap in a game if you can't get somebody's attention, like clapping is going to get it? Maybe just say their name. Hey,
if you can't hear, you're trying to get
Smith.
Dude, that's a very you've never clapped to get somebody's attention?
Not
or snapped when you're somebody close?
Not if I'm like playing safety.
Guy got flagged 5 yards for clapping, and I was
anyway.
I think that's a huge thing.
I think the problem with watching the college game is more or less the talent level of the quarterbacks. Forget everything else, because all the other guys, the receivers are fun to watch. The defenses clearly yesterday were talented. That was like watching pro defenses play. But the problem was it was like watching pro defenses play against the Jaguars in week 8. You know, like the offenses couldn't do anything. And I'm not even trying. You could pick your team: Jets, Giants last week. The point that I'm making is the NFL quarterbacks could make reads. They could go through the progressions: first read, second read, third read, then you tuck it and run. College football, it's like one read. If it's not there, you might go a second read.
You saw that on the last drive. And there was one read down the field.
In this game, even more so, there was no reads because the pressure was there immediately. So I don't think that the clapping. I didn't even see that one, honestly. I was probably not.
It blew me away.
I was probably still recording Jimmy's podcast at that point, but
it blew me away because like I said, I'm watching the game, flag on the play, and I was like, oh, what did he jump? What did he jump? And the guy was like, he's even like the description of the penalty called by the ref. I was like, and I'm looking, of course, I'm by myself. So I was like, I'm looking around like, that's a thing, everybody? Is that a thing? I don't know. And then I'm talking to Scoop, and Scoop's like on text. He's like, did he just get flagged for clapping? I was like, I think so. Like, that was, I don't know, man. Again, clapping as a cadence, that's just, it shows an experience. And I get it. Yes, they're college kids, so they're not as experienced as the NFL, but like to sit there and like, if you're a defensive lineman, all you got to do is listen for the clap.
You also don't know. You also don't know if he did it 2 plays in a row before that, and the ref went up to him and said, "Hey, don't do that anymore." And then he did it again. So it could be a bunch of different things.
But that's a hypothetical. But I'm just saying, overall, I just think the whole thing was just, I don't know, it was weird. But yes, so the Georgia Bulldogs
Robert Bohannon coming in and saying one of the first losses Saban looked to be okay with at the end, to be honest. Well, I think that was
he's
because
so checked out.
I don't know that he's checked out. I think that
the guy, the Georgia coached under Saban for like 10 years. So they're buddies, right? So like if he's going to lose to anybody, it better be one of his cast-offs or one of his coaching tree guys.
I could see that. But if you even heard Saban before halftime when he was talking about how he knew that they were up against it, even though they did go into halftime with the lead, just the fact that they lost the receiver and there was a lot of young guys in big spots for Alabama yesterday. Did they have guys that didn't play because of the draft?
I don't think
so. I think that would have made bigger news. I mean,
and Bohannon, this is your boy you work with?
Yeah.
Okay. He's asking if I've ever played organized football, that you can't even do the clapping and the cadence in Pee Wee. Here's the thing. I would never think to do that. As a defense, I've never played defense. If that's your question, I've never played defense where I had to guess the cadence. I was always a center, or a tight end, or somebody on the line. Like I had to listen to my quarterback. It's on 2. Okay, I'll wait for the second hut. Like that's all I knew. I'm not going to sit there and mess with the cadence.
Here's the thing, too. It's even more so when you have crowd noise and, like, the only way to get the snap count is the clap, or the center can't hear.
Just said, say his name.
Hey.
So I said, yes, clapping will get his attention. Are you going to
shout the center's name and be like, hey, Philip, snap it now?